Welcome to another Throwback Thursday. This whole month of June, we're talking big budget blockbuster trilogies, and we've talked X-Men and Lord of the Rings, so check out those videos if you're interested in them. But this week, we are talking the Pirates of the Caribbean. This is a series I was hesitant to go back to as I held it pretty highly, but I also saw it when I was a lot younger. Revisiting them was a nice surprise in some ways. The overall grandness of it still holds up. The production value in these movies is really quite good. The plot isn't that bad, and a lot of things that people complain about, I don't really mind going back to the second and third film. Overall, as a trilogy, I would still rank this second. I consider this like a Lord of the Rings light, which is a real compliment. It still has a certain grandness to it. It's not on the same scale as Lord of the Rings in terms of quality, but it still has likable characters, interesting events, and it just keeps things going for the total of 9 hours you watch it. But let's get into it. So the first film, The Curse of the Black Pearl, is about how I thought it would go. It's just this fun action movie that hits its beats, has a likable trio of characters that you can root for, has these fun action moments, and just keeps it moving. There's nothing too surprising revisiting these, but if you are wanting a swashbuckling Pirates of the Caribbean movie, you're going to get exactly that here. Johnny Depp gives a pretty memorable performance as Captain Jack Sparrow. Orlando Bloom is quite fun, and the rest of the cast is really quite good. This is my second favorite film in this trilogy, and we're about to get into my favorite. Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men's Chest makes little to no sense, but I don't mind that. There's still great action moments, the characters get even more fun, and there's a lot more treachery to pirates, just how it should be. There's this weird love triangle they try to throw in, which admittedly is pretty stupid, but there's so many fun action set pieces that it makes it way more memorable than the first film. Just the water wheel scene, again, I get it's ridiculous, but I'm okay with ridiculous as long as you're presenting it in a pretty fun way. And that's exactly what Dead Men's Chest is doing. I think Johnny Depp is at his height as Jack Sparrow. I think Orlando Bloom is at his best as Will Turner. Also, I think Keira Knightley was given a lot more character development in this one, and not just a character that needed to be attained in the first film. The highs in this film just outweigh its problems for me. I get it has its issues, but I just love watching Dead Men's Chest. And I can oversee those problems just for the fun of it, and it keeps everything moving. Now, At World's End was a little bit harder not to see those problems, because they're very apparent. They lean very heavily into the love triangle for most of the film, and their treatment of Elizabeth Swann is really weird. Even if it's accurate, it's just weird for the third film. And there's just a couple things that don't hold up this well. There's a lot of weird plot lines that they do, but I think there's still a lot of fun to be had with this one. The scenes with Johnny Depp while he's by himself, only talking with himself, while can come off exhausting to a lot of people, I really enjoy. There's just this witty nature to it, and I like the back and forth of Captain Jack Sparrow to Captain Jack Sparrow. Also, the whirlpool fight scene, while stupid, is a lot of fun to watch. And that's fine with me. Again, as long as it's fun to watch, I can sort of look past, oh, this is really dumb. But with that said, it sort of lingers way too long for the ending. Maybe it was just because I was watching these for so long that I was like, okay, it's almost done. And then it wasn't, and it kept going for another 30 minutes, and I was like, oh, geez. This is a long movie, and it's very long, and I didn't really feel that with the first two, but the length definitely is apparent in the third film. This is still a very watchable movie. It doesn't derail the series for me, unlike X-Men, and overall, I just really enjoy this trilogy. I'm not saying it's necessarily great or high quality, but if you're just looking for a fun action movie in the summer to put on with friends, Pirates of the Caribbean is definitely one I'd recommend. If you like this video, check out our channel for more content. Next week, we will be doing a review of the original Spider-Man trilogy, directed by Sam Raimi, starring Tobey Maguire. So make sure to check that out. Thanks for listening.